Hey guys, it's Cal from the Lighting Doctor here. I hope you guys enjoy this video with some more great landscape lighting tips. To learn more about landscape lighting, go and check out our website at lightingdoctor.ca, or if you want to see what a real quality landscape light should look like, go and check out our try it before you buy it offer, where you can get a premium quality fixture at a discounted rate with your very own battery pack, so you can go and test out how that light's going to look and feel what a real premium quality light should look like. So go and check us out at lightingdoctor.ca, or go watch more videos on YouTube just by searching for the Lighting Doctor. Hey Mike, thanks for sending in your pictures here. Yeah, I'd love to give you some ideas. I like that you kind of change your thought process there for the uplighting, because I think it would be well worth it to highlight the stonework you have on the house. So kind of like you said in your comments, I think what I would probably do is balance with some path lighting and uplighting. So when I talk about the uplighting, basically I'm talking about this guy here, and then for some path lighting would be this guy here. And where I would use those is, so I would try and get an uplight at the base of this pillar that kind of shines straight up. I would also do that on this pillar, and this pillar, and have those pretty much shining straight up. So probably 12 to 18 inches back, and just have them shining up. I would probably try and get just because it's going to create a dark area in this corner, I probably would almost try two of those on this side. Not so much that you're going to see them from the front, but from, if you're looking at the house from this angle, you're going to want to have that lit up so you don't have this big dark spot in there. And then I would also have two on the front of the house here that really highlight the stonework. And then what I would do, in a lot of cases, I would probably throw some accent lighting on this, but I think instead of doing that, just feature the stone that you have, and then this is where I would use some path lights. So just see if we're going around the front. Yeah, so like instead of accent lighting this is where I'd probably try and throw maybe a path light in here, because you already have this post light. You might just throw a path light in here kind of under the window. You have your accent light, your uplight here. I'd probably try and throw a path light in here. With these ones too that you're putting, you might want to kind of angle them up and a little bit in, so it catches a little bit more of this top peak. But like I said, accent light, and then like a path light here, and then an accent light here, and then you kind of got this back corner with some uplights. So you might want to throw a path light in here, and maybe in the middle here, and then same thing, kind of just staggering across with some uplighting and then some path lighting, and then same thing here, maybe just two path lights down this side, really just to give you some contrast of some uplighting and then some downlighting here. So that would definitely be where I'd start. Another recommendation I would make is probably even looking at a wash light like this guy here, and using something called a gutter mount. So gutter mount, basically this just screws into the side of the gutter, and the fixture screws into here, as opposed to in a ground stake. And then you could run the wire up the eaves trough and through the eaves, if there is eaves here, or just run the wire along here and actually mount that somewhere up here and catch this whole second tier, the second peak here. I think would be a really great option if you want to go ahead and do that work. But yeah, I think that's kind of what I would stick with. You can always add later, but I think that would be a real good start. I'll just give you some suggestions for here. I think it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for functional lighting, or if you're looking just to have some really cool views from outside your house. Two things you could do if this is kind of like a functional area, and I can't really tell whether it's a fire pit area or something like that. What I like doing is actually mounting the accent lights in a downward fashion. And I know a lot of guys will say you can't do that, but these are sealed really well, and they do a good job being upside down and using it as a downlight. But then I would mount it using a tree stake like this. So it's just a giant screw that screws into the tree, and the fixture screws into there, and then you can downlight from above and create kind of a moonlighting effect. So I would probably, it's going to take a tall ladder because they're tall trees, but trying to get those lights somewhere up here and have them kind of shining down, and it almost creates the higher up the better, because as you see, you kind of have this shadowing pattern from the sun. Well, you get the same thing at night with those lights if you do that, and it kind of creates that natural moonlight effect. So you could pick and choose a couple places in here to do that. But if it's not so much functional and you just want it to look amazing from outside, then I would probably try and just use some accent lights, like we talked about already. When I say accent lights, I'm also talking about uplights. And then just putting a lot brighter bulb in there. So this comes with like an LED bulb that they call like a standard 20 watt equivalent. I would probably look at like a 50 watt equivalent, which would be like a 7 watt LED bulb. And that's really going to push that light higher up in those trees. And you don't have to do every one, but I would maybe try and pick like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5 of those and start with that. And again, if you size it properly and maybe you have a separate transformer back here, you can always add on later if you want to add more. But that's where I would kind of start, Mike. I think that'd be a really good design. You can always throw, again, on this side here, if you wanted to throw some accent lights on a couple of these lower shrubs, I would almost recommend a wash light instead of an accent light. It's just a little bit of a softer, subtler light with a wider spread, so it won't create this big hot spot on these areas, and you don't need to push that light real high. So it's a really good way of lighting maybe some of these smaller trees and shrubs around the property. But hopefully that gives you some good thoughts. Let me know what you think, what you like. Maybe a quantity of lights. I can put together a kit for you with a transformer wire, all that kind of stuff. And if you have any other questions, just let me know. Thanks, Mike. Hey guys, now I'm going to show you some tree lighting examples and how we do that. Now I'm going to do it down low here. I've got my ladder. I'm going to go put it up in the tree, but it's tough to get my camera up there. So this is how we do it. We do it with these tree mount stakes, and the reason I like these is they're no maintenance. Sometimes you'll see people will mount lights to trees just using like a regular bracket, but what happens is as that tree grows, eventually it grows right over that bracket, right over the wire and all that. So I'm going to show you how to do this properly so that you don't have to worry about that. And it's with these tree stakes. Super easy. See, the light screws actually into the top of here, and then this screws into our tree. So basically what I do is I just get it started with the hammer, get it in there a little bit, and then you can just use any screwdriver or anything. There's a little hole here, and you can just tighten that on. Keep spinning until you get it all the way in there. And the nice thing about that is now as the tree grows, it's easy to go and back that off. So as the tree starts getting wider and starts getting closer to the end, all you have to go do is do the opposite now, and you can just slowly back that off a little bit. So that's why I like that. Once you got it in there, pretty simple. Then your fixture is just a 1/2 inch thread, just pops in there and screws in. Now I don't have this all the way in, so it's not going to be super steady, but it'll give you the right idea. And then you just make your adjustments, shine it down. One thing I will say is anytime you're doing downlighting, something you do want to do is get one of these hex baffles. I don't know if you can see this little honeycomb. Sorry, this bee's bugging me here. This little honeycomb shaped filter. Basically what that does is this goes underneath the lens, and then now when that's shining down, it helps deflect the glare, because especially with downlights that are shining down, if you walk right under it or kind of in the proximity of it, sometimes it's shining right in your eye. What this does, it helps deflect that a little bit, so it's not as bright in your eye. And then lastly, the other question I get is how do you go and secure the wire to the tree? Because you can leave it just dangling like this, which is great, but then it's visible and people don't always like that. So how you can go secure that is actually just use these zip ties with screw holes in it. Again, another reason that we use those is because it's easy to go and back that screw off as that tree grows bigger, because so many times I see people who just screw the wire or staple it to the tree or something, and then within a year or two you can't find that wire anymore because the tree's grown right over it. Well, this eliminates that, and basically all you do now is you go and you screw that zip tie to the tree, and then you can go now put the zip tie around the wire, and then you can secure it to the tree. But what it does too is not only does it keep it from the tree growing around it, but as that tree grows, now the wire has some play so it can grow with it. So at the base, anytime you do tree lighting, you want to leave a little bit of wire coiled up and buried so that tree can grow, and you just keep pulling that wire up. And if you need to, over time, you can back this off. That's how you keep lights in trees for a long, long time. And with the lights that we use, they're designed for that. They're not designed to only be up there for 3 to 5 years. They're designed to be up there for as long as you want them to. So that's how you go properly mount a light in a tree to get that cool downlighting effect we talk about all the time. Hey guys, thanks for watching that video. I hope you guys got some great tips, and I hope you guys take advantage of your own free video consultation where you can send me a few pictures of your property, and I'm gonna get back to you with your own personalized video presentation with all kinds of tips and tools of how to go and light your own property. So to get that, go check us out at lightingdoctor.ca, or just email me a few pictures of your property at cal@lightingdoctor.ca.